monitor
your cost. What has it cost?
Um, for me, like I said before, I never wanted to do the 9 to 5. I didn't want to be the employee. So when I decided that, okay, all of these different ideas that I had that I wanted to do, one, the hardest thing was like pinpointing what am I going to do, because I have a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts, a lot of things I felt like God gave me to do. And so the hardest part was trying to hone in still on what exactly to do. So then once I ventured out and said, okay, I'm going to do the administrative services, at first it was like, okay, that's cool, that's easy, you get a few clients, and then you realize that, oh, I have a whole family. I got to go to school. I'm a full-time student now. I got a job, a full-time job, and trying to get off of this job. I got a whole husband. I got a whole ministry at church. So time management became like the devil to me. And so when I realized that doing entrepreneurship required me to focus so much on that, and then trying to get clients and figure out what it is that they need, and then figure out how to do the work, and then do all these other things, it almost became a point where I felt like I was like losing my mind for a point, because it was like, okay, God, you said that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Why is this not easier? Or why is it not working out the way you said it was going to work out? Why is it taking me this long to get this much money? And why is it taking this much time to find these clients? And then I went into this point of depression. Was like, okay, God, I don't think you told me this. Maybe I just really wanted it so bad that I talked myself into it, and so that's why it's failing. And then I lost my job, and it's like, okay, so now I lost my job. I have this business. I don't know what else to do, and it's not working, and I'm not making the money I thought I was gonna make. What's up? You know what I mean? And so, like Andre said, remembering your why, even though it sounds good, it's still hard, because even in remembering my why, it's still kind of like, I thought by now I would be further along. I thought by now it would be easier. And so it cost me peace. It cost me sleepless nights. It cost me crying and trying to figure out the why God. It cost me, I quit. I hate this job. I hate this church. I'm tired of the church. I hate this church. I hate this. I don't want to do this entrepreneur. I'm just going to go back to work. You know, and so it looks easy when you see other people doing it. But when you don't realize, like legit, they ain't sleeping for 3 or 4 days because they're trying to figure out what to do next, or how they're going to make something work, or they're trying to manage their entire lives and do this business. It looks glamorous on Facebook and Instagram and on TV, but in reality, like, it'll literally rip you to shreds if you don't realize, like, for real, like, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, and regardless if I have to do it limping and screaming and scratching, that's what I'm going to do. Because for me, even still at this point, it's like, okay, you have this business, but okay, now what? And so being able to keep your mind focused to just do it and remember your why, and not lose your sanity, and not feel like, you know, reneging on what you thought you were going to do, and not feeling like, okay, God, you said do this, but I don't really know if you said this because it ain't working. For me, it's been the biggest struggle. So for me, loss of peace and sleep, and, you know, focus, and sometimes your faith, like, you lose. For me, I lost a lot of that, you know, because I felt like, okay, now I look crazy out here in these streets because I don't put this stuff out to do this stuff, and it's not working the way I thought it was going to work. So now I look like a failure. Now I feel like a failure. And so having to take all those things into consideration, you have to do that if you're going to go out, because you're going to have these great highs, and it's going to start out great, and then you're going to hit that plateau, and you kind of be like, okay, now what? And so for me, trying to build myself out of that place now to realize, like, yo, this is what you're called to do. This is what you said you were going to do. This is what God told you to do. You know, kind of pick yourself up and move forward.
OG.
Ooh. Yella. So, this journey has cost me comfort, complacency, being average, and normalcy. There's no way that you can step out there and be the risk takers that we are when we step out to do something like this and be all of those things I just said. Because all of those things are challenged. A lot of, like what she just said, that fuel behind the thing for me was purpose. having to do with the call on your life and the assignment on your life, because I was living life unfulfilled. So it was like, what's the average? Are you going to go back to the corporate 9 to 5 because it's safe and at least you have a guaranteed check? Or are you going to tap into the thing that you were born to do, what you were set out on earth to do, what you believe that God told you to do, even though everything around you looks contrary to what he told you to do? And you do go back and double think, God, was this you? Or was this my own zeal? Was I just being ambitious? Did I want what I want?
Yeah.
And you begin to second think, all of those things that you believe that he whispered to you. So it cost you too, and it's something that you actually instilled in me, the thing in you that has to die before you cross over into the next place. And even in my most fearful moments and walking them through, I can feel God trying to kill something inside of me. And I can feel, and it's fear. It really is fear. And it's a flexing of a muscle of faith that can only be flexed this way. It's a flexing of muscle of faith that you need to endure and sustain this long haul. And I realized too that, what God's been speaking to me lately as that this has to be built to last. And in order for it to endure seasons and weathering storms and to last through ups and downs, because you can make $10,000 one month and make nothing the next. When you go through those things, it's a different kind of strategy that you're using. You're preparing a different way. You're storing a different way. You're positioning things differently when you're in this type of position. So it's building you all across the board. It's not just you making money. When I talk to other businesses or other people in business in rooms, I would say, don't go after the dollar. Make sure you're living life's assignment, because that's the thing that's going to always pay you, even when you don't get the monetary thing. So that's very important. But everything about this journey, it will cost you. There will be some sleepless nights. I believe as kingdom people, I don't believe we're supposed to be up all night. For days and days. People say, you want to be wealthy, you want to be a millionaire, you just don't sleep. No, I believe he speaks to us in our dreams. I believe that it's restoration that refreshes us with innovation and ideas. And I've seen people, that can strive for days and days and weeks at a time to do something that the children of God could just go to sleep, and God speak to them, or they go to the Lord and he give them something just like that, a plan that opened out and fold right before you, just because you're a child of God. So I think that it's really important to hear him and to be clear on, what it is that he's telling you, and whatever it is that he told you, don't allow it to be shaken. Don't allow it to be, just stand flat footed on that and keep believing it, even when everything around you may shift. And also be mindful of the advice that you receive too, making sure, because you can receive quote unquote godly counsel, and someone can really be for you, supportive, and love you. But if they weren't there on the conversation that God had with you in the beginning, they might tell you something contrary to what God has told you based on what they see. And those things are not to take personal, but those things are just to understand and know you have to do what God told you to do, because he will provide, and you are now his obligation.
Can I just interject just right there? And you have to really take heed to where it's coming from. Typically that's my mom. You know what I'm saying? Hey, did you hear God?
Right.
Sure? No, just apply for a job.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah. No, I gotta stand up. So typically it's the people who really care for you the most. Who don't have a full understanding of what the Lord is trying to do in and through you, that try to stray you out of love.